everybody. Thank you for joining me on today's HQ Team Zoom. I've got a lot to share with you, but I will do it quite quickly because I know how precious everybody's time is. So I like to get together with you once every period. I know I randomly change the days. It used to be on a Thursday, then it was a Monday, then a Tuesday. We will get some normality back at some point very soon. It's just been a busy old time, so I try and get these in when I can, but it's so important to get together with you and just tell you things about the business direct from us to you as a partnership should be. And I keep emphasizing this thing about partnership. You know, so many companies, organizations bleat on about partners and partnerships, but it's got to mean something. You know, a partnership is a collaboration, it's a connection, it's an understanding. And I'd love to think that we have that collaboration and that connection from the things that we do, the way that we operate, the way that we put your thoughts and ideas at the forefront of everything we do. And I'd like to think that that makes us quite unique. Now, that's not something I've created. Nothing that we've ever done has been done by one person or one team alone. It's taken the collaborative efforts of all of us right from the beginning. So if you do hear me bleat on about how important a partnership is, that's why. I don't just want to be somebody who bandies around that word but doesn't have substance behind it. I believe we have substance for the way we work and the way we collaborate. So, swiftly moving on, as you know, last week we launched VivaMk World Active. And that was all about introducing products for the social selling space, the online selling space, which is the part of the business that we really want to develop and emphasize and structure. So you've got 50 new products, and it doesn't need a genius to tell you those products have been selling exceptionally well this week, because within those products aren't just products that your customers want, they're products that you can buy for yourselves. And I think that's what a lot of people have been doing. So the fastest selling products this week have all been from the active range. That's just for you to know, because I like to share things like that about the business with you. So the best selling products from the weekend to now have all been VivaMk active products. So where does that leave us? So that was 50 products to start with, but that's just the beginning. We're currently sourcing a lot more products to fill that social selling online space. It's not often you see those products in catalogs. We'll come to catalogs in a moment. They are specifically, and I do wish I could say that word, they are specifically, they are typically sourced for online selling only. Of course, you can make flyers, you can do anything with them you want, but they are fast-moving consumer goods. So you'll see some lines, when they sell out, they'll be replaced by something else, and we'll update our stock sheets to tell you what's actually sold out. But that's the whole point, they're fast-moving goods. So we buy them all in, we've invested a lot of money in them. Every single product we already own, we don't do credit with things like that. We own it all, buy it all in one go, and then sell it through to you to sell online and in the digital space. And this week, so far, fastest selling products we've had. So, moving on to, well, as you know, I always talk about our heritage, which is catalogs, and people have already started questioning what are we doing with catalogs. There is no need to ever question what we're doing with catalogs. As much as we're building the online space and the VivaMk World Active Selling Arena, our catalogs are key and tradition and the foundation of our business. It's where most of us came from. It's the experience that I have, the experience that all my team have. So there is not much reason to keep asking me whether they're going to be, why have I turned off? You know, so you don't have to worry that catalogs are disappearing or changing. They're going to develop alongside our active ranges. Now, this often happens that my video goes off, but Probably not a bad thing to take my ugly face away every now and again. As you see, it keeps happening. So that will probably keep happening now. So apologies for that irritation there. So moving on to catalog before the video disappears again. I have no idea what it does, but we are in a new office. So this could be the connection. Now, as you know, this has been one of our massive successes. Affordable, stylish bedding. And it's exactly as it says. It is affordable, it is stylish, and it is all about bedding and toweling, of course. So that has been a huge success. And as you know, that catalogue sold out very fast, one of our fastest selling catalogues. It was the fastest selling until that came along. We'll talk about that in a moment. So one of our fastest selling catalogues, fastest selling product ranges, again, all purchased to sell out. So we've produced a brand new one. Because it needed updating, because some of these lines had sold out for good, so we produced a new one. So here is Affordable Stylish Bedding number 2. Now, this is brand new. It's got some of the existing lines from here, of course, but it's got 6 new ranges in there as well, including the one on the front cover. This will be available first thing tomorrow morning. It's already been printed, it's already been published, and you'll get the full PDF, and you'll be able to buy it from, I think, 8:30 tomorrow morning. So watch this space for that. Again, a huge seller for us, and it's got some lovely new ranges in it. So there's going to be, a huge success where that's concerned. And my camera has started to really irritate me now, but we'll just have to deal with it today. So some great ranges, and a fantastic surprise for us that it did so well alongside the hoodies that are also still selling well even in the sweltering weather. But that's our business for you. I'll come on to other catalogues in a moment. I just want to talk through this. That was launched only a matter of weeks ago. As you know, our new eco-friendly project, in which every single product in that catalogue is either biodegradable or certainly eco-friendly and people-friendly. Now, that, next to the Christmas catalogue last year, has been the fastest selling catalogue that we have published. Now, that says a lot for our business. It says that that's what we needed. That's what our business really needed, an eco-friendly range, all in one publication. It also says that it's what your customers needed, and it's what your customers needed and wanted. So just wanted you to know that, and thank you for supporting this huge project and taking it to where it already is getting. And we're now getting orders from you guys, huge orders, which only consist of products from that catalogue. So there's obviously a huge market there, and I'll come on to that in a minute of how we're going to expand that range a bit more, because this eco thing, after stylish bedding, has become my new obsession, and I do have new obsessions regularly. So that is absolutely fantastic. So what's happening next? Well, I told you last time we spoke that this time we would talk about the new You and Yours catalogue, back to our normal everyday range of products. You and Yours 2023. It's 48 pages, 50 brand new products, and the product reveals will actually start tomorrow. And on Friday, you'll get the full PDF. So it's already in production, already being published, and you'll be able to buy it next week. We don't waste any time with these things because we know how important it is to try and stay one step ahead of consumers and what they want. So we try and give them what they want and give them what they didn't know they want. That's the great thing about marketing. If you can get stuff that people want, great, but encourage them to buy stuff they didn't know they wanted. And that's how our catalogs work so well. So if this system doesn't bugger up for a second, I'll show you the exclusive front cover of You and Yours, which I have to say is one of my favorite front covers to date. I know you think I always say that, but it really is. So just give me 1 second while I mess about with this. I'll try and share it with you. See if I can actually do this. Let's have a look. It's not that one. And there we have it. That is the front cover of, can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. That is the front cover of You and Yours 2023. A fantastic cover, in my humble opinion, but that's just the beginning. Wait till you see some of the products, and especially the back cover of this catalogue. I'm hoping you're going to embrace it like you embrace all of our catalogues. Like I say, this will actually be available to buy next week. So it's already in production, it's already been produced, and you'll see the full PDF on Friday. Now, let me just talk to you about catalogs for a second, because there's been a lot of debate, ongoing debate, and I did cut it dead last time and said we weren't going to change the format that we have, and we're not going to change the format, but it's an ongoing question and an ongoing argument as to how many catalogs can we possibly have. I mean, I even lost count of how many we currently have. However, here's the argument for one last time. We are not changing the format. Maybe one day in the far future we'll look at it again. But today we are getting individual sales of products from different catalogs. So currently, this catalog I've just mentioned, our fastest selling catalog since Christmas catalog was released, and Christmas catalogs are huge, as you know. There are people, partners in our business, that are using just this catalog because they want to build upon the eco-friendly approach of the organization. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, and that's the beauty of having multiple catalogs. It might take 20 hours a go to pack catalog bags. However, it gives you a fresh look every single time you put the catalogs out, whether you have stylish bedding at the front, whether you have eco, and I've got loads here, or that, which of course is a huge catalog for us this year, outdoor and pets. So we won't be doing that, but it shows how singular catalogs do and can work. And don't get me wrong, it would actually be much cheaper for us to stick everything in one catalog. But if you do that, how do you isolate product ranges? How do you bring them out? How do you keep a customer's attention on one specific, oh, there's that word again, one specific product range? How do you keep their attention? How would we have sold so much affordable bedding had it not been isolated in one little publication? Again, we have people that post this on its own, use this on its own. So that's the argument done forever, until we talk about it next time. And it shows how the system works. You can keep it fresh, you can use individual catalogs, you can dedicate catalogs to certain groups of people, and you can isolate the products. Otherwise, you'd never be able to isolate specific ranges of products if they're all in one encyclopedic approach. Now, you know, I know some companies do that, but fair play to them, let them carry on and do that. We'll do it our way. So, that's You and Yours starting tomorrow with the reveals. Affordable bedding available to buy tomorrow. You and Yours available to buy next week. Now, going back to the eco space, as I've just said, it's become my new obsession. Being eco-friendly, not being eco-friendly, but promoting eco-friendly and looking at new ways and new products that we can introduce into the eco space. Now, as you know, when we launched this, we introduced new ranges from BioD, Faith in Nature, and various other product companies that specialize in eco-friendly approach. And they do the full circle. They don't just sell eco-friendly products, but their entire packaging is eco-friendly, already recycled and recyclable. That is the full circle. And as you know, with this catalog, it was the first time ever we used FSC approved paper as well. So I know all paper is eco-friendly, but specifically forest-friendly, eco-friendly paper. And that might be a new way for us in the future, because again, hopefully you've seen that the quality doesn't lack any more than our normal paper. It costs a little bit more, which is the irony of eco-friendly. Anything eco-friendly always costs a little bit more, but it's been worth it. So, talking about introducing new brands, there's a few of you that have been talking about very specific brands, and we're looking at all of them to introduce them into our eco ranges. And one particular brand that particularly David and Jenny have been talking a lot about, and various other people have mentioned, is a brand called D2W. it's a brand that we had a connection with many, many years ago in the early years of Clean Easy, and then that connection fell out. Now, D2W specialize, are very, very renowned in the eco space. They use biodegradable materials, of course. They've developed their own sciences, and they produce um, biodegradable plastics. Now, the thing about plastics is, as you know, even your normal everyday carrier bag takes about 100 years to degrade, to break down in the environment when it goes to landfill or wherever else it goes. It can take up to 100 years. So they've developed their own sciences behind some of their products. Now, we didn't create a connection quick enough to put into there. So what we will do before this month is over, we'll be introducing D2W to you. And we'll be taking 10 products from their range and we're making them available. We'll print them on a flyer so you can actually use that as well. We'll put flyers in all the parcels so everybody can see what's going on, because we want to test that brand and get it out there. It's a renowned brand. I want to build that relationship and we want to start selling their products. And I think you'll understand when you look into it, and I'll put it in the summary later, that it is a very reputable and recognized branding in the biodegradable, eco-friendly world, which is good for us. Remember, yes, it is about saving the planet. It's also about promoting that we can do that. And this is a great thing about partnership. I didn't know anything about D2W until some of you started talking about it, and some of you started to say that you really wanted to sell the brand. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to sell the brand, and you'll see it materializing in, well, it's the 20th of June today, in less than 10 days from now. You'll see it materializing, so via email and the usual spaces where we advertise these things. So thank you to everybody who's promoted that. I think it's going to be another great opening for us. But again, just the beginning. It's the first eco-friendly catalogue we've produced, but not the last. And the product range is going to grow further. Naturally, we'll have to go into warehouses 2 and 3 of this range because our product ranges are increasing vastly. But that's the thing about our business. You know, so many of our products come from recommendations from you. You know, even this, even though we thought about it so long ago, may not have ever happened had it not been for the connection that we have with you guys. You know, it's the time and patience you've put into talking about these things and recommending products and putting the ideas across. So, you know, you haven't got us to thank for this. You've got yourselves to thank for this. And that's the great thing going on, what I said right at the beginning. We're only here because you're there. And that's the formation of our partnership, that it really does actually work. You try and recommend a product range to one of the other companies you may or may not be working with, just as an experiment. Try and recommend it, and let's see how quickly they produce a product that you really want. I'm not boasting, but it's just the way we've always been. We've had that collaboration, and it's always going to be like that. You've said to us that we should keep this, that's the old one, keep this as a permanent fixture, and it will be permanent. But affordable bedding will be as permanent as long as we can keep buying it. So, moving on, and I'm already aware of the time. I've already had 20 minutes of your precious time. Your VivaMk shops have all been improved. By improved, I mean just made better working. So you should now get an email every time you have a shop sale through your customer shop. You'll get a notification email sent direct to you, whichever email address that you've registered with, telling you that you have a shop sale every single time you have a shop sale. At the end of every period, we'll give you a cumulative figure via email, plus the commission earned at the end of every period. And that will happen for the period that's already ended. So the period ended last Thursday, so you'll get commission emails this week, and you should be getting notification emails with every single shop sale. All that does is just improve our shop and the way it feels and the way that it works. And I hope you agree that it was a necessary improvement to get that angle of it working properly. Because up to now, it's been if dare I use the word ramshackle, that is a word I can say, it just hasn't been as robust as it should be, but now it is. On to some questions you've been raising. We always ask you to give us some questions that I can answer for you live. John Bowden has asked for a genealogy tree. I'll give you a genealogy tree when I get hold of you. Genealogy tree, I think by that he means a tree that outlines the people within your business. So it shows you everybody who's in your business. We are working on that. It hasn't been a huge priority compared to getting the rest of the website up and running and working the way we want to. Remember, it's taken a few years to develop it to where we have it. If you remember the ramshackle sites that we tried to plug in the early days, so it's taken a while to get here. But we're constantly working on it, constantly making improvements. It's an ongoing process, and a genealogy tree, if you really want that, is something we will work on. Talking of genealogy trees and people joining the business, as you know, we introduced a free startup into the business. Historically speaking, when companies have free startups, all that happens is that everybody and their dog joins, and everybody and their dog just does bugger all in the business, because anybody joins something that is free. And that's not being derogatory to anybody that's joined our business, because I'll tell you why our system has worked differently. Now, you've heard me mention these numbers before. Free startups generally, in most organizations, don't tend to create activations. So they get the people joining, but they don't always activate. Now, generally, if you have a free startup, and this goes across the board, remember, I have all the numbers for all the companies, I have all the connections there. Generally speaking, a good percentage of free startup, if you can activate 21% of all your free people, so they at least put one order in, that is a good percentage. So everybody joining free, it basically means that 79% do nothing and 21% will put an order in it, no matter how big the order is. And that is a good number. Well, you'll be delighted to know that our activation rate since we started our free sign-up is 49%. So 49% of everybody that joins our organization, the free startup, actually puts orders in, or an order. And it only has to be one order, but an order. Now, when we did free activation in the past, we had sharing September last year, if you recall, and I shared with you the number then. It wasn't a boast, but it's trying to show you that, yes, the world of free startup is quite notorious for non-activity. In our business, we seem to get the activity. So when we had sharing September, strange enough, last September, we had a 63% startup rate, which was phenomenal. And we just thought it was a one-off, that it generally doesn't happen. Then we had, I think it was January, strangely enough, in January this year, January Jamboree, I think it was called, which was also free startup. That we hit, I think it was about 39% startup activation. And we put that down to big beginning of the year. Maybe people didn't have the cash or whatever the reasons were. But still 39% better than 21% that everybody else seems to achieve. But now, currently, we're at 49%, which I can only thank you guys for, because you're bringing in the people, and the people are activating their accounts. Not everybody will, because people will join something that's free. They'll join anything that's free. You give them anything, they will join it. But at 49% activation, that's pretty good going. And like I said to you, when we introduced this digital startup, which is free, it is going to be a permanent fixture in this business. And that proves that collaboratively, once again, we did the right thing. Collaboratively, and that's the key word here, because it was communication with you, collaboration with you, that made us go down that road of permanent free sign-up. So thank you and congratulations on getting such a stunning startup activation rate. As I said, the rest of the world are lucky if they had 21% activation. So we're doing something collaboratively very, very right. So other questions people have been asking, a bit more technical. Um, Now, we will never condone people leaving one business and joining another. However, there are times and reasons where somebody feels they don't belong where they are and they want to be somewhere else for whatever reason. We won't condone that, we won't encourage it, but we're also in this free working society. If you want to be part of a business, yes, you should be comfortable. Yes, you should want to do it. Yes, you should have fun doing it, and it should be a friendly environment. That doesn't always happen, not just in our business, but it's the nature of people and the nature of leadership in management. It's not always going to happen. So the rule that we've put into place is for 2 months of inactivity. Somebody's asked that question a few times. So 2 months of inactivity, and then we will consider moving your business if you then write to us and tell us. It's not something I want to necessarily encourage. However, I'd rather encourage people being happy where they are and doing what they want to, rather than being unhappy where they are and not doing what they want to, if you get my gist. In the commercial world, when people don't like where they are, do you know what? They change jobs. That's what they do. So although this isn't a job, people have to be happy in what they do. And if we are really the collaborative partnership that I want us to be, then we really must help people to at least feel encouraged and supported. And that is, a foundation of our little business here, to feel encouraged, feel supported, and feel so different to the rest of the world where people just become commodities in somebody's downline. I never ever want anybody to feel they're just a commodity in a downline. That's not what we are. So, next time we speak, we'll have launched a number of things. As you know, you'll have the new you and yours, you'll have the affordable bedding. I'll start picking a more standard day when we do our HQ Zooms. But next time we speak, I'll tell you more about Christmas. I've even got I'll produce one of my dangly balls here, look. I don't know what that actually is, but just to show you the product ranges that are being currently researched and looked at. I don't not quite worked out what it is or how it works, but it's like a unicorn something or other bauble. I don't know. But we're surrounded by Christmas products at the moment because, of course, Christmas is all year round. Christmas isn't just for Christmas, Christmas is for life. And we've been working on it for the entire year. So it's going to be a bumper season this year. But I'll tell you more about that in the coming months. More importantly, even more important than Christmas, and that very strange looking bauble, is House Proud 2023. Or in fact, House Proud going into 2024. Next time we speak, I'll tell you all about the brand new House Proud. We're currently manufacturing brand new chemicals to put into it. That always makes me sound like Breaking Bad when I say that, but we are manufacturing brand new chemicals to go into House Proud. And the best thing about the chemicals that we're manufacturing is that they are chemicals that you have specifically asked for. And there's some fantastic things. Talking of chemicals, so House Proud is next time we speak, another bumper catalogue, again, a very much bread and butter catalogue of ours. Talking of chemicals and House Proud and cleaning products, although the last few days has seen exceptional sales of VivaMk World Active products, and of course, affordable bedding has been one of the greatest sellers since it's been launched. The biggest selling product so far this year still remains the air fryer cleaner. So if you haven't promoted that, I would just recommend promoting it, not just because we've bought enough to sink a small country, but because it's clearly a unique product that people actually want to have, considering the numbers that you're selling. Now, I know there's a competition behind it, but I don't think it's all about the competition. I think it is also a product that people want. So by far, one of the fastest selling product in the last few months is the air fryer cleaner. I think I've had half an hour of your time now, and I guess, as you can tell, there's a lot going on in the business, And like I've said to the team time and time again, when they get tired of my new ideas and they get tired of new suggestions and they get tired of doing something else when they barely finish what else they were working on, and they get tired of me talking about Christmas and how we're going to make it so big and so on, I always tell them that, you know, yeah, we have this incredible partnership, but as a corporation, as a commercial entity, we've always got to try and do things to stay one step ahead of the crowd. One of the biggest things is the collaboration, and we can produce products that you want and you recommend. But secondly, just to try and keep opening new doors and trying new things, like the D2W product range. You know, I'd not even heard of them until a couple of months ago, even though we used them once many years ago. But until a couple of months ago, they'd completely been lost on me. And it's like introducing new things like that. And we're doing a lot of things like that because I truly believe in the competitive market that we're in now. Yes, it's all about people and bringing people closer, which I think you guys do better than any other company I've ever worked with or have any connection with. But it's also about, you know, pushing the boat out on products and trying new things like the eco catalog. Now, it may not be a new thing where the world is concerned, but it's a new thing where we're concerned. And to suddenly have the fastest selling catalog that we've had since Christmas is quite a feat. So yes, there's a lot of things going on and a lot of things with you guys in mind. So thank you for all the ideas. Thank you for all the support and encouragement. And you know, we're almost halfway through 2023, and we've got plans for 2024. Of course, we're looking at quite a few changes and things that we're going to add to the business. But again, that's all thanks to the support and encouragement we get from you. And that's what happens with a collaborative operation like ours. So much of what we do is directly influenced by you guys. And I always wanted a business like that. I always wanted to be part of a business like that. Never ever found a business that worked like that until we created our own. And that's what we had to do to get it the way we have it today, to create our own business, because most of us couldn't find that collaboration, partnership and connection anywhere else. I've talked myself quite hoarse now. Still can't say specifics, so thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. We'll carry on having this connection and talking, and have a fantastic June, and watch out for all the new things happening this week and rest of the month. Really appreciate your time, and thanks a lot. Goodbye.